These hypothetical pairings would be a match made in heaven. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 dream video game developer/franchise combinations.
We don't have a full complement. We don't stand a chance without the right specialists on side.
For this list, we match up various media franchises with a developer who specializes in a certain type of game that would suit the genre of that media property. Not only do we feel that these developers would stay true to the franchise, they may add new elements that complement what came before, or even reinvigorate a series that has fallen on hard times. Number 10, NetherRealm Studios and the Marvel Universe. With the last two critically acclaimed Mortal Kombat games under their belt, there's no doubting their pedigree when it comes to a fighting game. The question is, how well do they handle a comic book IP? Well, if Injustice Gods Among Us is anything to go by, pretty darn well. Building on their core fighting mechanics, they add a story written alongside DC writers and fluid fight scenes that can take a battle to different areas or locations you'll know from the comics. This makes every fight feel kind of like a scene from a movie, a feature that has never really been a part of the Marvel vs. Capcom series.
Feel the love of the hyper and it's a home run!
Number 9, Telltale Games and Starcraft. If you're looking to expand your video game franchise into the storytelling department, you need to look no further than Telltale.
Just hold on, Clementine. Coming for you.
Their resume is filled with spin-offs from massive names from film, TV, and gaming. Jurassic Park, The Walking Dead, and Borderlands have all successfully received the Telltale treatment.
Time to clock in.
StarCraft's lore has grown considerably since its real-time strategy origins, with the various book tie-ins providing many directions for an original Jim Rader or Arcturus Mengsk story to go with. All filled with political maneuvering, tension, and the odd fight, of course.
Keep your intervals wide, your eyes open, and your asses covered. Let's move.
With brilliant-looking cutscenes already a part of the campaign, it's all begging to be turned into an episodic epic.
It's about time.
Number 8, Naughty Dog and James Bond.
Let us know if anything hinky goes down.
Roger that.
Nathan Drake's latest adventure and Naughty Dog's last Uncharted entry plays out like a 14-hour interactive film, with all of the emotion, dramatic set pieces, and even its own take on a secret agent mission that you'd expect from a blockbuster movie.
Then I shall sell it for 500,000. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm.
You could easily see 007 hanging on for dear life in a train or crashing a plane, while you could similarly imagine Drake jumping off of a dam or skiing off the side of a cliff. Bond games have often portrayed the British agent as a mindless killer in a first-person shooter, but as recent films have shown, there's much more to the character that can be explored than just violence and womanizing.
So this is it. We're both played out.
Number 7, WayForward Technologies and Mega Man. This independent developer has gained a reputation as one of the best creators of modern 2D platformers in the industry, not only for their own property like the Shantae series, but for the excellent licensed titles of beloved retro franchises like Contra 4, Double Dragon Neon, and DuckTales Remastered. WayForward has a signature style of using high-quality hand-drawn 2D sprites to give 2D games a modern feel that you really don't see with any other developer out there. And given how fans of the original and X series bask in its 2D roots, now would be as good a time as ever. With the franchise's 30th birthday arriving next year, seeing the Blue Bombers return to glory would be a perfect gift. Number 6, Red Barrels and Five Nights at Freddy's. No other hypothetical combination on this list would provide more content for Let's Players than this meeting of FNAF and the creators of Outlast. Both share a genuine sense of hopelessness, stemming from the fact that you have such little control. But once you've become numb to Freddy and Co.'s jump scares, Scott Cawthorne's creation appears bare bones next to Red Barrel's first ever game. Five Nights at Freddy's lack of movement is frightening at first, but 4 games in, you'll be craving the freedom to explore the series' enticingly vague lore.
I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled in on your first night.
An Outlast-style first-person view with an emphasis on hiding and surviving still retains the terror while giving you the chance to discover some convoluted Purple Man theories of your own. Number 5, CD Projekt Red, Mass Effect.
Where am I?
The Citadel. It's my home.
As incredible as BioWare's Mass Effect trilogy was, they kinda goofed when it came to the ending of Commander Shepard's arc. Fans really hated the ambiguous Starchild conclusion, leaving the series' upcoming installment considerable work to do in order to restore players' faith.
It is now in your power to destroy us.
Enter CD Projekt Red, a Polish company who created the Witcher video game series and always puts fans' needs ahead of making money.
As much as I respect your intuition, Yen, we need something specific.
Their open world games are already packed with things to do in beautiful locations, and even though Mass Effect offers a lot of galactic exploration, it doesn't quite possess the same degree of detail. We get that Shepard needs to save the galaxy, but a closer look at the seedy cityscape of, say, Omega would make for a perfect open world locale.
I am Omega.
Number 4, PlatinumGames and Dragon Ball Z. Hack and slash games might seem like button mashing nonsense to some, but there's a fine art in balancing the havoc with gameplay that players can actually keep up with. Platinum's Bayonetta series is a leader in the genre, including action sequences that rival the over-the-top fighting of Dragon Ball Z. An X-Men game made by Platinum with lots of Wolverine would also work well, but epic fights like Gohan vs. Cell are ideal fare for a Platinum interpretation in a similar vein as their adaptation of the Transformers' crazy battles.
Give it your all. Sideswipe, now!
Nearly every Dragon Ball title up till now has been merely filler. This potential pairing could finally create a game as good as its source material.
Very well. It's my turn. Are you ready?
Number 3, Nintendo and Sonic the Hedgehog. These days, it's hard to believe that there was a time when Sega's Blue Hedgehog actually rivaled Mario as the most popular figure in the gaming world. To say that each mascot has enjoyed varied degrees of success since the early 90s would be something of an understatement. Sonic just can't find his place in the modern generation, stumbling from one glitchy game to the next while Nintendo constantly churn out money-spinning titles. You can't imagine Sega ever parting with their best-known property, but to avoid another Sonic Boom-style debacle, Sega might just have to team up with an old nemesis. Number 2, Rocksteady Studios and Spider-Man. With their Arkham series of third-person brawlers, Rocksteady have set the new standard for every other superhero game coming in the future. Their trilogy was clearly an inspiration for the Amazing Spider-Man open-world games, but they were a poor imitation of Rocksteady's efforts.
I saw something! No idea!
The London-based developer could look to another of New York's heroes, Daredevil, as their next subject, but Spidey's unique way of getting around opens up so many more ways of playing. Rocksteady's take on Gotham and The Dark Knight are some of the best on-screen comic book adaptations you'll see, so their version of the web-slinger's Big Apple could be just as revolutionary. Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Patch me to Seraph, now.
Here's looking at you, kid. Damn, I'm looking good.
Number 1, FromSoftware and Castlevania. Gothic environments, monstrous bosses, and dark, unsettling atmosphere, we really could be describing either FromSoftware's Soul series or Konami's Castlevania franchise. The latest Castlevania games have moved away from the usual 2D side-scrolling in favor of full 3D, a transition containing excellent visuals but unconvincing God of War-style combat. There is one company that does melee combat almost better than anyone else, especially when it comes to giant swords and, yes, even whips, and that's FromSoftware. Not only that, but their bread and butter is darkness, death, and decay, all things that are basically prerequisites for Castlevania. Last but not least, fans often praise the backtracking, encouraging, maze-like open-ended nature of the Soul series environments, making yet another perfect fit for Castlevania's signature Metroidvania level design. Do you agree with our list?
Hey, deja vu, right? Yeah.
Which developer would you like to see get a hold of your favorite franchise?
It's no use!
For more hypothetical top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
What about the game, Duke? Was it any good?
Yeah, but after 12 f***ing years, it should be.